What is up, everybody? What is up? Stevie B in the building. Solo for right now. I think Hammer said he might be a little bit late tonight, so hopefully he hops on in a little bit. But otherwise, we here. So what is up, guys? What is good? What type of questions we got? What type of injuries do you got? What type of start sits we got going today? Because I had actually a few myself. I got to finish setting my lineups as well. Emil, what up, Emil? What up, Stevie? Thinks James Robinson steals Dylan's job. No, I don't think James Robinson steals Dylan's job. I mean, Robinson couldn't stay afloat with the Jags, couldn't stay afloat with the Jets. I mean, couldn't stay afloat with the Giants. I don't really expect anything out of J Rob. So I'm not really worried about it too much. But I mean, it's not like Dylan is killing it anyway. So that's the tough part, I mean, maybe because Dylan hasn't been good, maybe they will give James Robinson some opportunities, but I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't think he's that valuable. I wouldn't be bothering picking up James Robinson. CMC. Do we think CMC plays? I do think he's gonna play. I mean, he's a tough guy. I don't think he's gonna sit out. But the hard part is that he plays a Monday night game. So it's like we don't know until that time comes. So do you take the chance or do you not? I mean, if you've got Elijah Mitchell or Jordan Mason, then you can absolutely take the chance and just wait and see what happens on Monday night. So unless you have, a good backup or someone good that you can throw in there, it's that's gonna be tough. But yeah, I think he does play, so I'm not like crazy worried about it. But I was working on this, that's why I was a little bit late. About some topics and stuff to go over. Yeah, I do think that he is gonna play. Yeah, I mean, there's a few things. Obviously, we could talk about all these things, right? Aaron Jones coming back, Gibbs, Kyron, Dalvin, Justin Fields. Yeah, Deontay Johnson coming back this week. I've actually got to play him in two of my leagues with injuries and buys. But I do think he returns back to form. He becomes that ball hog that he once was. I mean, maybe that's what Pickett needs right now. So I'm not crazy worried about Deontay. I think he's a fine wide receiver 3 flex with that wide receiver 2 upside. And where you drafted him as basically almost a wide receiver 4, wide receiver 5 in some instances, depending on your league, depending how deep it is. So Deontay Johnson coming back, I wound up trading for him in a dynasty league for like a mid-ish second. No, it was a mid to late second round pick, most likely a late second round pick. I traded this guy's second back to him. I wound up getting Deontay Johnson in a deal. So I was happy about that, but I do think that he will help out this offense a little bit. Pickett's got to step his game up because Pickett is pissing me off. He's pissing a lot of people off, especially when he bamboozled us in the preseason. Right? Everybody thought coming into the season it was going to be this whole new offense and Pickett was going to be slinging it just like he was in preseason, and he hasn't gave us jack shit. Hasn't gave us jack. Frank in the building. What up, Frank? Appreciate you, Frank. But yeah, I'm curious to see or to hear kind of what other people out there are thinking about Deontay Johnson coming back. What kind of effect that has on Pickens? I know we briefly I spoke about this yesterday as well. Um, but yeah, I mean that hurts Pickens, of course, because Pickens was never a target hog, and that was the problem last year. Is what he had like a 15% target share, and that's just not going to cut it when Deontay Johnson is just hogging all the targets. So what comes back this year? We'll see. Diaz, what up, Diaz? Yeah, my fraudulent contending team. I mean, a whole 1.5 points out of Ridley. Mm. Oh God. So I don't know, man. See what happens in the next coming weeks. I need some guys to go absolutely off in order to win because I had not great performances so far. So Foot Legends, what up, Foot Legends? What's good, man? Tell me if y'all like this little layout that I got set up. over here. This was what I was working on before I hopped on. I was a little bit late because I couldn't really finish everything. Waiting for Hammer's ass to get on here. But yeah, I'm all for Deontay. Pull up his do any of y'all got Deontay coming off of IR? Yes, said I need the first back to change your juju. Bro, I'm all for getting my first back, but I can't overpay. I don't know. I might just have to take the L on it. But we'll see. Like I ain't giving up Chase. You might be able to get whatever else you want though. You might be able to get whatever else you want. On the interruption layout. Yeah, yeah. I was fucking around and I was like, you know what? Let me have some fun with with this shit real quick. I thought that would be I thought it would be kind of cool. Just bring a cool little vibe to the show. Foot Legend said lineup this week is Lamar, Gibbs, Aaron Jones, Waddle, Terry, Godert, and Watson. Okay. Benches, CD, Deontay, and Saquon. I'm gonna switch someone for Saquon. Thoughts. My whole team changed. Okay. Let's check it out. Let's check it out. Deontay, you got Saquon on the bench. Yeah, I probably definitely want to play Saquon. I mean, he had a ton of opportunities last game. So I would definitely be finding a place to play Saquon in here. I'll let maybe you decide that, but I'd probably play him over Watson. Is that Deshaun Watson or Christian Watson? Is this the super flex or am I just reading that wrong on the last Watson? I'm gonna guess it's Christian Watson, so I'd play Saquon over him for real. Got him in 3 leagues right into your lineup. Yep. Absolutely. Absolutely. It's crazy how, especially dynasty value, when guys are injured, like the availability you have to like trade for certain guys are just nuts. Deontay's gonna be a good receiver. Yep. F Deontay, he sucks. I mean, do you like Pickens more, Emil? Are you more of a Pickens guy? And why do you think that he sucks? What makes you feel that way? Because the targets are just insane, and the route running is he's a technician. Frank says the numbers say that about Pickens, but if you check out the second half, he did a lot better. Plus, lots of Deontay's career numbers are with Ben. Yeah, but if you look at last year, though, also let me pull him up real quick. Even last year, Deontay Johnson had 147 targets. So that went down from Big Ben of 169 the year before that, but the year before that was 144. So, I mean, Big Ben or not, he still commanded a shit ton of targets. And, the target rate of George Pickens was only like 15% last year. So, we like the layout, but having a problem finding tight ends all season. Appreciate you, Lucius. Okay, tight ends always. Some dude drops go there in my league. I have the first overall waiver, so no more being stuck on just Musgrave. Well, yeah, I mean that's a relief. Just pick up go there, just play him every week. Just understand that there's going to be up and down weeks. I mean, the tight end position sucks. It always has. So if you don't have one of the top guys, you're just going to have to either plug and play or just pick one guy and play him. So If you're able to pick up Goddard, which it seems like you're going to be able to, you got the first overall waiver, then you should be fine now. You should be fine at tight end. Christian Watson. Okay, yeah. Cryptics. Do you think CMC will play? I do think CMC is going to play. I mean, he's a tough guy. He's most likely going to play, but then again, we don't necessarily know. And he has the late Monday game, so that's what sucks about it. So, depending on what your other options are, or if you have Elijah Mitchell or Jordan Mason, maybe you can take that chance and wait to see if CMC plays or not. So, we'll see. Think Deontay is going to get over 12 or even 10 fantasy points full PPR. I don't know what he's going to get, but I'll take the chances with the targets that he's going to get. So we'll see what happens. I would hope so. I would think so. I mean, he's going to get targeted. So although it is the first game back, you could be cautious if you want, but I've got him going right in. I mean, I pretty much have to have him going in the leagues that I have him. So I'm playing him. I'm hoping for at least, 10 to 12 fantasy points. I mean, realistically, he's what? A wide receiver 3 with or flex with some wide receiver 2 upside. So it's not like he's your wide receiver 1 that you've got to plug him in there. Where you were able to draft him this year was crazy value. Deontay is consistent. Yep. What up, Kev? What's goody, my man? Jay, what up, Jay? Be on the lookout for Ibrahim. Yeah. On the Lions. We'll see if he gets any burn. He was elevated not that long ago, actually, just today, a few hours ago. So we'll see. I mean, 25-year-old rookie running back, 5'8", 203. Good player. I just don't know how much we're going to be able to see of him. I mean, and then is Craig Reynolds going to be? What's Reynolds' situation? Hamstring, so he's limited. So questionable to play. Yeah, so Ibrahim could definitely get some work. I think they're probably going to, or hopefully, lean on Jahmyr Gibbs. Kind of leads us into the Gibbs topic. But yeah, is this the breakout game? Is this the game that we've been waiting for? Now he's going to have his opportunity, and is he going to cash in? Is he going to cash in? They're going to give him carries. What they give him last time that Monty was out, Gibbs had what 17 carries. He didn't have that many targets, only 2 targets that game, but he had 17 carries. Can we get against a Baltimore team? Can we get 15 to 20 carries with like 5 to 7 targets? I mean, I know they don't want to do that for Jahmyr Gibbs. They don't want to burn him out. He's a young, one of their young talents. They obviously spent, draft capital on, but and even, coach even said it. He's like, unfortunately, we might have to give it to him. So I'm hoping Jahmyr Gibbs has a huge game this week. So as long as the opportunities are there, I think it's definitely going to happen. All he needs is, couple breakout runs, a big catch or two. He hasn't really been able to do anything receiving yard wise. Like he's catching, he had what 5 targets last game, but 4 catches for 11 yards. He had 7 catches for 39 yards back in week 2. So is it going to be the breakout that we hope for, or are we going to be continue? Are we going to continue to be disappointed by the coaching staff and the Lions, and they're just not going to give him enough carries? Or enough work in general. I mean, they almost have no choice with Reynolds and Monty down. I mean, they have to, right? I don't know. What do y'all think? Is this going to be the game or what? This is my buy fill in wide receiver. I'm okay with that. If you're just filling him in, I mean that means he's on your bench. So Swift or Brees rest of season. What's up, Billy Blanks? Appreciate you, man. I'm going Brees here. For sure. I do like Swift. I think they will run him into the ground. I mean, he's on the last year of his contract. They most likely don't re-sign him, so I'm sure they're going to try and use him up as much as they can. But I'm going to go with Brees. Brees is just too good. We've seen that. Doesn't matter, stack the box or not. Brees is doing his thing. So I'm going with Brees for the rest of the season. But what does everybody else out there think? Throw it in the chat. We going with Brees or Swift for the rest of the season? We going with the RB2 in Dynasty, Brees Hall, or are we going with the back to life DeAndre Swift for a season? Picked up Jordan Mason because of the Monday night game, but questioning if I should get Eli Mitchell. Any thoughts on which running back to pick up? That's the tough part about it. I don't know because typically Mitchell is the backup guy. He's the second guy. Now Mitchell did just come back from injury last game. So did last game have anything to do with Mitchell's first game coming back? They kind of eased him in and let Jordan Mason take it, or is Jordan Mason jumping Mitchell in the RB room? And I don't know. I don't know that answer. It's hard to predict, what Shanahan is going to do. And it's always been like that. So I don't know. I would guess Elijah Mitchell. If I had to pick one, I'd go with Elijah Mitchell. Because I'd rather be because I think he'd be the guy, and then Mason would be the second guy coming in. So if I had to pick one, I'd go with Mitchell. But what do you guys think out there? Did Mason jump Mitchell? Do you think that's what happened here, or was it just because it was Mitchell's first game back last game that they kind of eased him in? Start Christian Watson or Devontae Smith full PPR? I'm gonna play Devontae. I mean, I know he hasn't been great lately, but I think I want to play Deontay. I mean Devontae. Devonta. Christian Watson or Deontay. Whew, man. It's a tough one too. I mean, they're playing against Denver, so like it's an awesome game. It's an awesome opportunity. Give me Christian Watson. Fuck it. The chances that he probably catches something are probably good against this Denver defense. I saw a stat that was like Love has been the worst QB in the NFL in the first half of football games, and he's been one of the best in the second half of football games. So, and that Steelers offense is struggling, and Deontay could be a big part of that, coming back. But give me the big playability of Watson against the Denver defense. Fuck it. I think I answered a question earlier. I might have said Deontay. So give me Watson instead of Deontay. Joe, what up, Joe? None PPR pick two. Warren Hunt, Wilson, McLaughlin. Um, Pick two when it's non PPR. Let's go with Hunt. Let's go with Hunt, and let's go with I want to say McLaughlin, just because I don't know what Jeff Wilson is once he comes back here with Ahmed also healthy. Is it a three-guy backfield, or is Jeff Wilson just step right back into that number two role and go off? So it's going to be either Hunt, Wilson, or McLaughlin for me. It's definitely going to be Hunt. So it's either going to between Wilson or McLaughlin. So give me give me McLaughlin. Give me McLaughlin. Foot Legend said, "Where you from?" I mess with the accent. I'm actually originally from New York City, Staten Island, New York. I born and raised there. Went to school in Brooklyn, but now I currently reside in North Carolina. But yeah, originally New York City. Dylan, what's up? Dylan Gibbs is in tough with the Ravens defense. He is, but he's one of those guys that all he needs is a little bit of space, right? If he can get some open lanes and some space, he can absolutely do his thing. The Ravens defense has been good, but I mean, I'm not crazy worried about it with Gibbs, especially with just that offense in general. They've got a ton of weapons, right? St. Brown is killing it. Laporte is killing it. So the defense has to respect the passing game and what Goff has been able to do. So that could leave some room for Gibbs to break a few. Or even if they get down towards the goal line, does Gibbs get the carries because nobody else is there? You know, Billy Blanks, no problem, guys. No problem. Appreciate you. Throw any questions y'all guys got in the chat, guys. Smash the like for me. Smash that subscribe if it's your first time here. Appreciate all y'all. Yeah, Brees Hall. Dylan said Frank. Yep. Swift getting some catches. Yeah, I mean, I don't know if he's getting, what he did that last game, but Mitchell Bafou always gets hurt. Yeah, Mitchell always gets hurt. And that's the one thing you can probably count on is Mitchell always getting hurt. But to be fair, if I'm not mistaken, he averages like 100 yards from scrimmage, or he did at least up until last year a game that he was like the actual guy before like CMC came, which was nuts. So he was averaging over 100 a game, and then they were like, you know what, we'll just get CMC because they know this guy can't stay healthy. Shanahan did this 4 years ago. Does anyone remember the Monday Night Massacre? Alfred Morris, Matthew Berry rant. Fuck, I don't remember it exactly, but yeah, I mean, starter and backup were hurt. Alfred Morris was the only back familiar with the scheme. Morris got one carry. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. An unknown starter began his career. Mostert. Okay. Yep. Yep. It's crazy. Yeah. Diaz just had started someone else. He's like, fuck it. I'm not even taking the chance. Albert, what's up, Albert? Appreciate you, bro. If you watch Dan Campbell press conference, Cats took over. Was goody. He talks about using Gibbs between the tackles like Monty instead of in space like he should be in theory. Yes, in space is what kinda he should be like, imagine Gibbs went to Miami, right? It wasn't Achane, it was Gibbs. And Gibbs would be doing that. I don't have a doubt in my mind that Gibbs would be doing some shit like that. If he's getting those, those sweeps and those outside runs, getting them into space. Um, Gibbs was the question with Gibbs was like, is he a good in between the tackles runner? And he has, if you look at some of the tape, he's missing some holes. He's not really exploding through like he should, but he's a young running back. He's going to have to learn that. And in time with the reps, you get to learn that difference as it is in the NFL when you need to hit that burst and when you need to hit that hole. So it's just a lot different. But I do think they need to utilize him in space more, or at least in the passing game. Just give him a ton of passes. Coming out of the backfield, set him up on screens. Just get the ball in his hands, get him some good opportunities. They're gonna have no choice but to give him the ball in between the tackles this game because he's gonna be the guy. But absolutely, man, I'm with you, cats. I'm with you, man. First show and liking the content already. Appreciate you, Daniel Caps. Appreciate you. Appreciate you. Throw any questions you got in the chat. I'm here for you guys, so throw it out there and smash the like for me, guys. Smash the subscribe if you're digging it. Join the crew. We're trying to hit 500 subs here. So help me get to that 500. Then we'll be on the road to the 1K. But Jay, what's up, Jay? Start Laporta or go dirt home to Miami. It's 0.75 PPR. You're never going to start anybody over Laporta other than like maybe Travis Kelsey. So yeah, you're absolutely starting Laporta. I'm not starting Go Dirt over Laporta. I don't care if Go Dirt just had a crazy game. We're going for Laporta. I mean, and Laporta is literally what? Is he what, tight end 2, 3 on the season right now? I mean, yeah, he's tight end 2 right now. There's no way we're not playing Sam Laporta. So you got to go Laporta there, man. I have McCaffrey in a couple leagues, went and traded for Madison and a third. Went and traded for Madison and a third for okay, you spent the late second, you got Madison in the third. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. You know me, I mean, I'm kinda like you, Diaz. I'll take the cheap ass running backs and just try and figure it out from there because the spot starts that you get from a lot of these guys just cost a lot cheaper. I'm just not willing to spend up in Dynasty. I'm not willing to spend up on running backs, on those elite running backs, unless it's that time, unless you have the assets and it's time to kind of go all in and you're in contention. But otherwise, you can win. You can win the championship with some trash running backs if you set up your team properly, if you have the right, roster construction. Probably gonna get 15 carries, 55-yard game again, bro. I hope not. I hope not, man. That would be so disappointing. Like, this is a big game for Jahmyr Gibbs just in general, in dynasty value, just how people are gonna view him. This is a really big game for Gibbs. So, if he does his thing, I think a lot of people will be very happy. You'll see that dynasty value skyrocket up again. But if he doesn't do well, if he does not have a breakout game here, it's gonna be tough. I'd be trying to even buy Jahmyr Gibbs after that at that point. But I think realistically, especially Dynasty, you can't expect them to be an RB1 right now, for Dynasty. It's going to take time. It's going to wait for probably Monty's probably got to be out of there. I mean, it's tough. I think we expected way too much, including myself, just expected way too much off the bat. But I still feel like he can have like that, at least that RB2 floor. Like I feel like that's a good floor for him as an RB2, even if he's getting only, you know, 8 to 12 carries a game, but he's getting, 4 to 6 targets, 4 to 7 targets. I think that's still a good amount of carries with what he can do. Better tight end this week, Musgrave or Thomas. I'll probably go with Musgrave just because of the matchup. Um, Logan Thomas, a lot of people fell for Logan Thomas, and I was one who said do not play Logan Thomas against Atlanta. He came off that big game with the 11 targets and 9 catches, but when you look deeper into it, Sam Howell threw the ball 50 times, and Sam Howell they didn't even run the ball once in the whole second half of that game. And my bet was just that Sam Howell was not going to throw the ball 50 times again against Atlanta, which is a pretty good defense. And then Logan Thomas gave you 1.7 points in full PPR. So, don't always chase the points. But I'm probably going to play Musgrave with the matchup there. I mean, Logan Thomas against the Giants is not a bad matchup. It's not a bad play, but let me go with Musgrave. Let me go with Musgrave. McCaffrey plays great. If he doesn't, slide Madison. And yeah, so you're good. Yeah, you're good. Absolutely. And they both play in that game, so you don't even have to worry about it. So you'll be Gucci either way. Joe, what's up, Joe? Drop Ravens, play Seattle or Washington D. All right, let's see what we got. You've got Seattle against the Cardinals. I mean, I like that D. I like that. Washington, you've got against the Giants. That's also a good play, but that defense has not been great, even though the Giants' offense hasn't been good. And then you've got the Ravens. Who's Ravens playing? We were just talking about that against the Lions. So yeah, I'd probably play Seattle defense. Let's just play it safe with Seattle defense. And the Cardinals have been, surprisingly decent. They've been able to score points, but give me the Seattle D over the Ravens and Washington. Billy Blank said facts. Nice show. Appreciate you, Billy. Appreciate you, man. Frank Gibbs is like Swift last season. Detroit is not a good system for Gibbs. Look at Swift now. Yeah, I mean, well, he is going with one of the best offensive lines. I mean, we saw what Miles Sanders did last year. So but yeah, we knew the talent of Swift. It wasn't ever a question of the talent, and they tried to give him the workload. That's the thing with Swift. Like they really tried. They tried to give man the workload, and he just could not stay healthy. Just season after season, getting injured. So that's what kind of happened with Swift in Detroit. It wasn't just last year or that was that. No, they tried. And if you remember the first game of the season, he had like 20 plus touches or something like that, and then he just broke down after that. So I think that's kind of one of the differences between the Gibbs and Swift situation. But I think, as in the situation as of right now, yes, it's going to be very similar for at least this season, with Monty getting most of the work. And they're winning football games. They don't want to hurt Gibbs. I mean, Gibbs is their future. I think they know that. But at the same time, it's like we can't. And these guys are college players, right? They haven't played a full NFL season. It's very different, like the toll it takes on their body. So a lot of times it's easing these guys in, and a lot of times we see it's the second half of the season that some of these wide receivers or running backs really start taking off, like we saw with Brees Hall, Kenny Walker last year. Amon-Ra St. Brown. We see it all the time. So yes, it is kind of a bad situation and bad system. Like I said, if he went to Miami, I mean, shit, that would have been crazy. So Cryptics, pick 3 out of 4 if CMC doesn't play. Mason, Eckler, Foreman, Bijan. We're sitting Mason. You're playing Eckler, Foreman, and Bijan. Eckler, Foreman, Bijan for sure. I mean, you've got Roshan out, you've got Herbert out, so Foreman is really like the only guy there. He's going to get some work. So Philly stole Swift. Yeah, they did. They did, and I was a big believer in Swift last year. I had Swift in a ton of leagues. I was a big advocate of Swift because I felt like this was a season. Now he's going to get the workload, and it just didn't happen. Well, he got the workload, but then he got hurt and he couldn't stay healthy. And then it just kind of turned to shit from there. And they pretty much gave up on him on that point. Jamal Williams was just banging tutties in left and right. So it just went downhill. But yeah, Philly basically did steal him. Absolutely, man. I've been cursed since I played Ridley down by 26, one RB, one flex, Moss, Foreman, Ford, Addison, Deontay Johnson, Downs, Lockett, Rice, full PPR. We got to play one running back and one flex out of all these guys: Moss, Foreman, Ford, Addison, Deontay, Downs, Lockett, Rice. So if we have to pick a running back. Might have to go with argue Ford or Foreman there at running back. You can still even argue Moss, but it's not a great matchup, and we don't know how much more JT is going to be involved. So I would go either Foreman or Ford. I'd probably go with Ford. Probably go with Ford. And then if we have to pick another one out of that, I would probably be going. And I'd probably go either Lockett, Johnson, or Addison. Addison against the Niners. I mean, they've got to throw the football. I would have to think that they're going to try and get the ball to Addison. So probably going to go Addison. Go Addison there. Number one QB versus Sohn. Russell Wilson. Start your Broncos, except tight ends. I ain't cray. I'm hoping Russell does his thing. Hoping. Deontay Johnson or Pickens. Deontay Johnson. We're going Deontay Johnson for sure. He's a target hog. I mean, he's been top 5 in targets the last few seasons. We've got to go with Deontay Johnson, even last year. So yeah, I'm going with Deontay Johnson here. When they've both been on the field, I mean, last year Pickens only had a 15% target share. I know I keep saying that, but it's an important thing because he was not getting targeted as much. And the routes that he's going to run, is that going to start to change back to what he ran last year, which were mostly those go routes and deep routes, where Deontay Johnson is all kind of underneath and intermediate. So that'll be interesting to see. Dylan hit a pause. I don't know if I said anything that required a pause, but let me know. Ravens, Bucks, Giants, Rams. Defense. All right, let's check it out. I'm not going with the Ravens. The Bucks are interesting. The Giants, no. And the Rams against the Steelers. Damn, that's a rough one. Let me go Bucks against the Falcons. I mean, Ritter just tends to always find a way to fuck things up. Let me get the Bucks. Let me get the Bucks. Oh yeah, learn to hit the holes, etc. Hopefully, any kind of small out there. Yeah, I mean, he was never a big guy. I mean, even coming in, like I didn't expect him to be like a 20 plus touch guy, but a 12 to 15, 12 to 17 touch kind of guy. That's kind of what I expected them to give him. I don't expect, a 20 plus. I don't expect him to be a total workhorse. Um, but yeah, man. If CMC does play, do I start Foreman, Eckler, Bijan? If CMC does play, then you're going to play Eckler and Bijan for sure. We're not going to know if CMC plays is the only thing until later on. That's the only rough part about it. I'm going to guess he's going to play, but it's tough to take that chance if you don't have at least Elijah Mitchell or Mason to kind of back you up. Gibbs is a rookie, still learning how to play football. He'll be fine. Yeah, I agree, man. I agree. I think we all kind of just over expected, especially nowadays. We're so spoiled with the Justin Jeffersons and Jamar Chases and Garrett Wilsons. These guys coming in right away and producing. And that it hasn't always been like that. It used to be an 800, 900 yard season for a rookie at the wide receiver position. That used to be known as they're going to be great and they're going to be awesome. And instead of a lot of people liking Drake London because he had almost 900 yards, with garbage QB play. He's just overshadowed by Devonta Smith and some of these other guys that really kind of got it going. And yeah, that's just it's just a messed up part about it. But we have to be, probably a little bit more patient with some of these guys for sure. Stole Swift too. Picked him up on Oh, you picked him up on waivers the second week. Wow. Yeah, because the first week you didn't do jack. So yeah, man. Absolutely. Have Deontay not playing him. Want to see what he does just before throwing him out there. Yeah, I mean, if you have other options, then I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that. And in some situations, you actually have to play him. I'm in a few situations I have no choice but to play him. But I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. Browns officially activated PJ Walker. Stream over starting Watson this week. God, man, listen to what they do, not what they say. I know this is just getting ridiculous with Deshaun Watson now. Yeah, it's rough. PJ Walker again. Simp, what up, Simp? What's good, brother? Ridley screwed me again. Tell me about it, bro. Tell me about it, because he's screwing me too. He's screwing me too, man. Herbert, London, Waddle, Bijan, James Cook, Laporta, Gibbs. Would you flex Palmer or JSN for anyone else in my lineup? Gibbs, Laporta, James Cook, Herbert, London, Waddle, Bijan. You could make the argument to put Palmer in over James Cook, slide Gibbs into the RB2 slot, and put Palmer in the flex. I mean, Palmer I think he had a tutty called back, if I'm not mistaken, or he had a big play called back. That would be one thing I would do, because I'd probably do want to definitely play Bijan and Gibbs. James Cook's been a little bit disappointing lately. Do have the injury to Harris, but does Latavius, see more work? So I'd be okay with putting Palmer over Cook if you want. Picked up Connor off of waivers, put in the IR. Yeah, stash him there. Should I grab Charbonnet off waivers and drop Quentin Johnson? Listen, I'm always an advocate for having backup running backs, because it's just they're one injury away from being league winners. Quentin Johnson just hasn't been able to produce yet. Does he start to produce more now, or more towards the second half of the season? Because he'd be a great guy to have. So depending on your team, if you need wide receivers, or if you don't need wide receivers, if you have enough, if Quentin Johnson is just sitting on your bench and you don't have to play him, or you're never going to play him because you have better options in front of him, then yeah, I would drop Quentin Johnson and hold on to Charbonnet. If you have enough wide receivers, then I mean, if you don't have enough wide receivers, then you might want to keep Quentin Johnson if you have other running backs. So it kind of just depends on your team makeup and your roster. Gibbs, we expected him to be what A Chain did. How did A Chain become that? Injuries to Wilson and oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Opportunities is always like sometimes it doesn't matter, I don't want to say it doesn't matter the talent, but like HN was a guy that I wasn't particularly sold on coming into the NFL season, just because I didn't think that, and I still don't think he'll ever be like a 20 plus opportunity guy. I don't think he'll be a workhorse guy. And he doesn't need that. All he needs is, 10 to 12 touches. And it doesn't seem like, he could even handle more than that because he's hurt already. But yeah, you're right 100% that, Ahmed wound up getting hurt. Wilson wound up getting hurt, and they had to plug in HN. And that's how he, got a chance to get in. And Miami was even trying to get a running back before that, right? They were in the Dalvin Cook sweepstakes. JT, they were looking for a running back. So, yeah, I mean, Achane got his chance, and with that offensive line, I mean, he goes untouched a lot of the times, which is nuts. But yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Absolutely. Sometimes it's absolutely opportunity, and we see that now with JSN, right? Quentin Johnson. These are guys that were behind, right? Quentin Johnson's behind three guys. Keenan Allen, Palmer, and Mike Williams. Now Mike Williams goes down, so he has an opportunity, right? JSN has got two Pro Bowl guys, two top 15 wide receivers in front of him. And, to expect him to kind of do right off the bat, be like a wide receiver too. I mean, that's almost unrealistic unless an injury happens. So we have to be a little bit more patient, with certain guys, but opportunities are always, and that's why, for running backs, for me, I just hate spending on running backs because all the injuries that happen. And I love just stashing backup running backs, and especially in Dynasty, you should have these guys stashed on your bench and pick up any of these picks that you can, during the season. Manny, what's up, Manny? Appreciate you. Start Foreman or Rashard White? Uh, Honestly, might go for, is it full PPR? Is it full PPR? I mean, going against Atlanta, I am not a fan of Rashard. I'm not a huge fan of Rashard White. I'm okay with playing Foreman. It is full PPR, so that's the tough part. Is like Rashard White's going to get some catches. So in that case, I might have to go Rashard White. Let's go White, Manny. Rob, what's up? Rob just came in. Evening, brother. What's up, man? Have Gibbs, Aaron Jones, and Puka. Who's the highest floor and sit one? I also have Wilson Jr. Gibbs, Aaron Jones, and Puka. Who has the highest floor? You have to sit one. Mm. If I've got to sit one, I'm sitting Aaron Jones probably. I'm playing the upside with Gibbs here. I think that Gibbs has a high ceiling that I want to, I'd rather take the chance on that. It is Aaron Jones' first game back, and he could obviously do his thing, but I'd like to see that first before that happens. And Puka, it's just hard not to play Puka. I mean, obviously he didn't do great last game, but the track record, I mean, it doesn't even matter that Cooper Cup is back. Stafford is just tossing the rock a ton, and they're getting the targets. So yeah, give me Puka and Gibbs here, and let me sit Aaron Jones, Rob. I think Deontay only played half of the first game with 6 targets, so he is a hog for sure. Yes, exactly. Exactly. First game, you saw it already. First game this season, you already saw it. So, absolutely, man. Ridley, Waddle, CD, JSN, London, Palmer, and QJ are my wide receivers. Ridley, Waddle, CD. You got London, you got JSN, you got Palmer, you got Palmer and QJ. So, I mean, what's your RBs look like? Do you need to stash the extra RB? If you don't need the extra RB, then I guess don't worry about it. It's not a crazy big deal. HM will be efficiency guy. He did exactly what we thought. Blazing fast talent that we feared wouldn't last due to his exactly wouldn't last due to his side. That was my only downfall. Is like, is he going to get a ton of carries? Is he going to be a workhorse guy? And is he going to be able to last? And already he got what 11 carries that game, and boom, he goes down. So yeah, man. Let's see what's up, man. Picked up Watson off of waivers. Stafford is starting since Fields is on IR. Okay. Also have Jeff Wilson and Roshan. Which one of the three to drop for Spears? Someone dropped him. Jeff Wilson, Roshan, and are you talking about Christian Watson or are you talking about Deshaun Watson? Jeff Wilson and Roshan. I want to hold on to Roshan. I mean, I probably want to hold on to these guys. I mean, maybe you take Spears over Wilson. Is that QB Watson? Is that Christian Watson? What is that? I'm gonna guess it's Deshaun. You got Stafford starting. You don't need to hold 3 QBs. I don't know when Stafford's bye week is, but if you're gonna choose Stafford, then just roll with him. Deshaun, one of 4. Deshaun, one of 4. You have 4 QBs? Or you mean one of 4 to drop for Spears, with him included? Drop one of those guys. I mean, I like to hold Watson, but if you can't, I mean, if you're gonna go with Stafford, maybe just go with Stafford the next couple games, and then you get Fields back in there. Yeah, one of the 4 to drop. Okay. Yeah, probably say Watson, I guess. I mean, I don't know if he plays this week. Maybe you have to play Stafford for 2 weeks or so. I mean, if Watson is on waivers, I'm guessing you could probably pick him up back again. So let's drop Watson because if he doesn't play, nobody's going to pick him up anyway. Then you could pick him up back again next week. So drop Watson. I would drop Watson if you want to drop somebody. Is Zach Evans starting tomorrow or Henderson? I don't know exactly what's going to happen. My money's on Zach Evans. I think he'll get maybe more workload, more carries, or be the first and second down guy. And then you've got Henderson that will come in for the third downs, the pass catching situations. I know the pass pro has been an issue, and I think McVay even said something about that. That's why he's comfortable with Henderson. So I think Henderson is going to get some work. But if I had to guess, I'd say Evans would be maybe the first and second down guy, but I wouldn't be surprised if Henderson, winds up playing a lot more than we expect. But I'll roll with Henderson if I have to, but that's more of like a desperate kind of play. If you have to play Evans, I have to play him in 2 leagues, so I'm rolling with him. We'll see what happens, man. Frank said it's all about the offensive system. JSN, number one wide receiver drafted, but third on Seattle, who runs 2 wide receiver sets. Yes, and that changed a little bit last week. They run 2 wide receiver sets because the offensive line is straight garbage. And they've had some issues. So they've been running the extra tight ends in there, with the 2 wide receiver sets. And we thought that this year maybe that would change with them drafting JSN. They'd go to more of those 3 wide receiver sets. We saw a little bit more of that last game, so we'll see what happens if that continues going forward. Flowers, number one receiver, gets 10 plus targets a game. Yeah. And situation over there too. I mean, I think we all knew OBJ wasn't going to be able to stay healthy, or he wasn't going to be good in general. There were, of course, people that were on the OBJ train, which he shouldn't have been, and that's just proven already. But it is what it is. Sim said RBs are Bijan, Cook, Gibbs, Monty, Connor. Yeah, man, Roshan said on IR, Charbonnet over Sean better hold. Roshan's schedule looks brutal on top of being on the Bears. Yeah, I mean, you could argue that. And then with Fields as well, does he take away some of the rushing upside and stuff like that? So in that case, like I'm okay because you're not really going to ever play Roshan. So in that case, I'd like to just hold Charbonnet if I could on a better offense. He'll be obviously a great guy to play if K9 goes down. Because even if Roshan is the guy in the backfield, it's still like you said, it's that Bears offense. I do like him, but let me hold Charbonnet instead. Let me hold Charbonnet instead. No problem, Southsea. Appreciate you, man. Cats took over. Probably gonna roll with JJ over Henderson and C Reynolds tomorrow. It's in God's hands. There you go. It's in God's hands, baby. Just let the fantasy gods decide. Let the fantasy guys decide. Bye, Apocalypse. Watson benched for Ruts. Kyron on IR. Have Miles Sanders out. Everyone else buys, bro. I'm in a couple horrible situations as well, man. I'm in a situation where I couldn't even start a QB for the last 2 weeks or this week either. I've got Deshaun Watson, Kyler Murray, and Anthony Richardson on one of my squads. I've got nobody. I've got nobody else. I've got like Brissett on the bench, Heineke, but I've got no startable. I got no startable quarterback. I mean, I'm tanking in that league anyway, so it's not a crazy big deal. But need to drop one for a Dowdle, Gaskin, Henderson, Spears. All right, so Watson's bench for Russ. Kyron's on IR. Miles Sanders is out. Everyone else is buys. So, all right, we got to drop one of those guys for Dowdle, Gaskin, Henderson, and Spears. Is that what you want to do? If you're just going to play Russ, then fuck it. Forget about Watson. Kyron is on IR. That so it doesn't really even matter. You need to drop one Rams running back only. Is that what you're saying? Drop one for Dowdle, Gaskin, Henderson, or who am I picking between here, DS? All of those guys? I guess Kyron not able to go in an IR slot on your team, or does he just have to be on the bench where you actually might have to drop him? I'd probably just drop him if I can't hold him. Dropping one of those guys for a kicker. Oh man. You need to drop who? Dowdle, Gaskin, Henderson, Spears? Is that what you're saying? Probably go with I wanna say Henderson or Gaskin. It's either Henderson or Gaskin. I'll let you decide which one, but probably say Gaskin. Really thought Bateman would be something. I'll take my L. Listen, we all take L's. We take dubs. We take L's. But we pride ourselves on trying to be right at least most of the time. But there's times you're gonna take an L. And Bateman just hasn't been able to stay healthy. And now you've got Zay Flowers kind of there that took over. So I liked Bateman coming out too, but he started off bad. I mean, he started off with an injury to begin with, and he never really was able to work his way back on a team that doesn't throw as much as we'd like him to, or haven't at least the last few years. You have Lamar there. But we saw like when he did play, like he was given some decent production. He was given some decent production when he did play and he was healthy. But now with Zay Flowers, you've got Andrews healthy. It's just tough for him. So we take the L on it. It's all good. Jin 23, bench is too deep and need a running back. What RB could I get with these players in my bench to trade away? Pittman, Terry, Devontae, Deontay. If I had to pick one to get rid of, I'd probably choose Terry here. What running back can you get? I mean, it's not going to matter what running back can you get. The real question is which team needs a wide receiver because you're not just going to be able to get a running back for Terry just because that team is going to need a wide receiver. So you need to find a team that needs a wide receiver or could use a wide receiver, whether it's injuries or bye weeks. Check out some of the teams and then attack from there on what running back you can get. I mean, Terry hasn't been good at all. I mean, you might, and Deontay's been out. So are you even able to do that? I mean, is there anybody you can pick up off the bench? Or is there any other wide receivers? I mean, I know you're saying it's deep, but you only listed 4 wide receivers here. Is it what's the rest of the team look like? Can you combine one of these pieces? Can you combine a Terry and something else to go and get you a running back? Let me know, Jin, but it's going to be tough to get. I mean, with Terry, what are you getting? I mean, I don't know. Can you even get a James Cook, a Jerome Ford? I mean, there's out a Rashad White, a Damian Pierce, maybe. Luke, what's up, Luke? Ramondre versus Bills or JT versus Browns? PPR. Ramondre versus the Bills or the JT versus the Browns. I'm honestly might just have to go JT here. I mean, I don't. I just it's hard to trust Ramondre. I mean, he hasn't done anything. This is one of the things that we kind of warned everybody about all offseason was with Belichick, just the way that he deploys his running backs and what he tries to do. I mean, last year was a lot of situation. All the running backs got injured. Stevenson was the only guy left. Buffalo is a pretty good defense. So yeah, give me JT. Give me JT. Is Royce Freeman worth a stash? I mean, I guess, like a desperate stash. I mean, not really. Not really. Depends how deep your league is. I mean, if your league is deep enough, then I'm okay with stashing them, but not really. Dylan, happy that Deontay's coming back. Judy is killing me. Yeah, man, Judy's been absolutely horrible. Man, Judy's been horrible. So I'm with you, man. I wound up trading. I traded Judy like before week 1, I traded Jerry Judy for Addison and a first in one league, with all the Judy hype before the season, which was nuts. And then I wound up trading Judy and Javante on a rebuilding team for Drake London. So I wound up getting rid of all of my Judy shares. I don't have any Judy shares anymore, but I'm out. I mean, I think he's just at best, he'll be a wide receiver 2 in fantasy, if all the stars align, and I just don't know if that's gonna happen. We're too late now into his career. The chances are just way too low when you just look at a history perspective. So I'm out. If I can get a second, I'm okay taking the second. But honestly, at this point, you might even wanna wait. At this point, you might wait until see if he goes somewhere and then take advantage of that hype, and see if you can get something better than just a second. Starting Dobbs in a dynasty league, and I'm 6-0. You listen, sometimes it happens like that. Sometimes it happens like that. How many people rode Purdy, to the ship or won the ship, Appreciate you, Stevie. Sitting at 2-4. Appreciate you, Simp. Lost last 2 weeks by a total of 5 points. Ready for my luck to change. Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just play the wrong opponent. I mean, when you're looking at the points for, I mean, when you're looking at points against, especially if you're, in the top league of points for, sometimes it just the cookie ain't crumbling your way. And unfortunately, there's nothing you could do about it. But have hope and keep pushing. So if your team is good, maybe you can battle back. I mean, I've seen it happen. We see it happen all the time. I mean, how many times does the actual number one seed in your fantasy league actually win the ship? I mean, a lot of times it's those guys that are sneaking in. It's those mediocre teams that just get hot during the playoffs. I mean, the best team doesn't always win in fantasy, unfortunately. So hopefully, you do get some luck to change. Dropping one of those guys for a kicker. Yeah, yeah. Okay, got you, Diaz. See, I'd just say either Gaskin or Henderson. Probably just go with Gaskin. Isaac, what's up, Isaac? Slayton, Reed, or Craig Reynolds PPR? I'm gonna go Reed. They're playing Denver, right? So yeah, give me Reed for sure. I'm not playing Slayton. I'm not playing Craig Reynolds. Let's go with Reed there, Isaac. Brian, damn, thought this was PTI or some shit today. Love the graphics upgrade. Yeah, appreciate you, Brian. I was working on that today before I hopped on. I was a little late today, so I was like, fuck it, let me just have some fun with this shit. Hammer's not on today. I have to find out some way to fit it with, when Hammer's on, how I can fit everything in there. But I'll figure that out. I'll figure that out. But yeah, appreciate you, Brian. Andrea, what's up, Andrea? Appreciate you tuning in. Everybody, shout out to Andrea. Everybody new in the chat. Appreciate all you guys coming in. Drop that like for me. Smash that subscribe if you're new. We're on the road to 500. Let's get to 500 if we can. But yeah, drop any questions or anything in the chat. Chase or Jettas and Dynasty? This is a very good question, Luke. This is a very good question because going forward, we don't know who the QB is going to be on Minnesota. I think from a talent perspective, I do think JJ is a little bit better, just an all around kind of talent at wide receiver. But Chase is special, man. Chase is special too, and he's tied to a elite quarterback in Joe Burrow. I don't think Chase is going anywhere. I think he's going to stay with Joe Burrow on the Bengals. And this could be, something that we talk about 50 years from now, like we do Peyton Manning and Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. I mean, uh, I think you can absolutely make the argument for Chase to be number one. You can put that either way. So either one or two is Chase or Jettas. The argument for Chase is just that he's tied to Burrow. That's the argument going forward. And I can see where he outproduces Jay Jettas if we don't get a competent QB, if we don't get a Caleb or a top QB. I mean, if we don't keep Kirk, it's gonna be a little bit harder, I would think, for JJ. He's still gonna do his thing. I think he still does his thing, but Chase just might have the edge, I think, going into next season, depending on what the Vikings do. I think you can definitely absolutely make the argument to go Chase over JJ. Mostert or Devonta Smith, PPR. All right. You got to go Mostert. Mostert's been a fucking monster. We got to go Mostert. So let's go Mostert, Andrea. Appreciate you. Nate, what's up, Nate? Start JSN or Rashi Rice this week? That's a very good question. I do actually like JSN this week. Rashi Rice still is not getting as much work as we like him to, but they're going against the Chargers. So give me Rashi Rice. Give me Rashi Rice. Bro, Taysom went absolutely off. Yes. Tell me about it, bro. People have been asking about Taysom lately. And it's just hard to trust him like every week. And now all of a sudden, obviously, he did his thing, but I mean, we don't know what that team is going to do. I mean, Derek Carr, I mean, come on, man. What that was last game, I mean, he made just a lot of bad decisions, a lot of balls that he didn't make the right decision of where he was throwing to. He was like blowing up on Olave on one play, but he threw the ball fucking 10 yards out of bounds. I don't know, man. He reminds me of like he tries to be a Tim Tebow-ish kind of like, that religious kind of locker room guy, but it's like he just doesn't put it together on the field. He doesn't. And at least, in clutch situations, you had Team Tebow coming through. But Derek Carr just, I don't know, man. Gus Edwards or Foreman, half PPR. Give me, I might have to go Foreman here. I have to go Foreman. Yeah, give me Foreman. Give me Foreman. Judy has been major booty, so yeah, I'm out on Judy. He was on my Supernova 12, but he's vastly disappointed, so he got booted out. Armando, what's up, Armando? Hurting bad at RB. A lot of us are, man. A lot of us are. I feel the pain. Need to start two: Ingram, Latavius, Hill, Kareem Hunt, Reynolds, Zeke, and Henderson. Honestly, I'll probably go Hunt and might go Hunt, and I mean Zeke doesn't have a great matchup. I'm probably going Hunt and Hill, maybe. Hope that he bangs one in. You could make the argument for Latavius Murray. Ingram, it's like they gave the ball to three different guys. I mean, Ingram did have the most rushes, but it's like they're giving the ball to Damian Williams. I mean, I don't know if we can trust that. I might have to go with Hunt and go Hunt and Hill, I think, or Hunt and Murray. You could decide which one you want to go with. I'm gonna lean Hill though. I'm gonna lean Hunt and Hill here. Appreciate you, Armando. Luke said keep trade cut JT, K9, or ETN. Keep trade Dino PPR. What is that? JT, K9, or ETN. We need to keep, trade, and cut. So we are going to we're gonna keep JT. We're gonna trade ETN and we're gonna cut K9. I'm gonna keep JT because his value isn't as high as ETN is right now. Um, so that's why I'm gonna keep JT. I'm gonna trade ETN because he's been a fucking monster and you can get a killing for him. So just on value perspective, I'd trade away ETN and then I'd cut K9, unfortunately, if I had to choose. And let me know what the Dino PPR means if anybody knows, because I'm not sure exactly what that means, or if you're just asking a regular keep trade cut question for Dynasty. One Nation, what's up, One Nation? Judy, Josh Reynolds, and Hunt. Pick one. Oh boy. Hmm. I don't know if it can be Judy almost at this point, but at the same time, it's not like Josh Reynolds is a great play because you do have Jameson Williams that just came back. And then you've got Kareem Hunt who was involved last week. Do we have to go Hunt? Like, I don't want to say go. I don't want to go running back necessarily. Do we really have to go Hunt here? Reynolds is now like the what number 4 almost option. I mean, he had 3 for 50 last game. Give me Hunt. Give me Hunt. Let's go with Hunt. Andrea said need one. Palmer, Addison, Michael Wilson, half PPR. Palmer, Addison, Wilson. Give me Palmer. Give me Palmer. I think Addison is close, but I'm going to take Palmer. Yeah, he should have had a tutty last week. Cap for life. What's up, man? Hey, bro. Do I trade Puka and Barkley for Eckler? No, I'm not trading Puka and Barkley for Eckler. I'm not doing that. I'd rather just keep Barkley and Puka. Do I drop Reynolds and pick up Henderson? Craig Reynolds? Yeah, I dropped Craig Reynolds to pick up Henderson. I'm okay with that. I mean, I don't know if either are going to do much for you, but yeah, I'm okay with that. Dalvin Cook is cooked, or is he worth picking up? Let's go to the Dalvin. So apparently they're open to trading him, right? He's on the market. They're trying to listen to some trade offers for Dalvin Cook. So where could he go? What's some possible spots? I mean, let's talk about it. Where do you guys think Dalvin Cook could end up? That would be a good spot. Is it the Rams now that Kyron's on IR? Does he go now to Miami, who's wanted him kind of the whole time? Now that A Chain is down. I do think he's worth picking up because I think there's a good chance he does get traded. I mean, if he doesn't get traded, then you could just drop him. But yeah, I'm okay with picking him up if he's just out there on waivers. We just saw Damian Harris go down. I mean, I'm sure the Bills would like a running back, even though I know Dalvin said he didn't want to go to the Bills because he didn't want to get in his brother's way. So maybe the Bills aren't a possibility, but there are a few teams maybe that he can go to. What do you guys? Baltimore is another one, right? Oh, there goes Ray. Ray, what's up, Ray? Ray said Baltimore. I mean, that's a good spot. I think that's a good spot also. Where else can he possibly go? I don't think he'll go to the Bears just because they're not really in contention really at the moment. Which yeah, the Ravens could be the Rams, Chiefs, right? Could be another spot. Gets cooked. Yeah, listen, I wound up trading Cook in a dynasty league before the season. I traded Dalvin Cook for Antonio Gibson and a third round pick. I just going to the Jets. I mean, I know in the beginning, maybe the first few games, he'd get a little bit of work until Brees was back. But yeah, once Brees came back, I mean, you can't keep the ball out of Brees's hand, and I think they realized that. So Isaac said, "What's up? I'm new, liking the vibe, subbed and liked. Appreciate you, Isaac. Appreciate you. Welcome to the crew, man. Come by anytime. We're live Tuesday nights, Friday nights, Saturday nights, and Sunday mornings. Not Monday. Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday nights we're on 10 Eastern, and then we're on Sunday morning as well. Usually about 11:30 a.m. Eastern time. It's about an hour and a half before the games. And tomorrow we'll go through probably some of the games. We'll go through prop bets tomorrow. We'll go through some of the money lines. So we'll go through all that kind of stuff in the morning. Get some bets in. Luke trying to trade Mixon or Henry for Josh Jacobs and Dynasty PPR. Mixon or Henry for Jacobs. Assuming Mixon or Henry's in the deal, what else should I be willing to move? I got Ramondre, Collins, and Hollywood on the bench as trade chips. Well, I'm guessing you're in a are you in a win now situation? I mean, I love going to spend on running backs, right? I want to solidify my receiving cores, my tight ends, my QBs. I want to make sure I have everything else in place before I go after running backs because I want to kill everybody at the other positions. You only got to start two running backs, and if you're killing at the other positions and you're able to move some pieces for younger assets, I'm all for it. But if you did want to go get Josh Jacobs, you'd probably have to add you probably have to add a first on top of Henry or Mixon, to be honest, for somebody to give up Josh Jacobs almost. I don't know if I want to actively be going out and getting Josh Jacobs. What's your vision? What's your situation for your team that you want to go and get Josh Jacobs? Because I always talk about, especially in Dynasty, right? Make sure you're calculated. You have a plan. You kind of have a plan on what you want to do or why you're doing it. So just let me know kind of what the situation is there. Are you a contending team? What's your what are you trying to actually do there? Flex spot, Palmer or JSN. We're going Palmer. I do like JSN this week, but I'm going Palmer. Taysom on all the best ball teams. Yeah, so you're good. If you got him in best ball, I mean, that's awesome, Frank. Darius, what's up, Darius? Gibbs, JT, or Amari for my last full PPR flex spot. Gibbs, JT, or Amari. I think I'm going to have to go Gibbs here. I'll take the chance on Gibbs. I mean, we don't know if Watson's playing or not. JT still is not getting the full workload yet. So give me Gibbs here in what hopefully is the breakout game that we've been hoping for. Should I start Cooper or Marquise Brown? Probably have to go Hollywood, to be honest. I mean, I don't know if Watson is playing. I mean, Cooper actually did great last game too. Let me look at the matchup real quick. Hold up. I see. They're playing the Colts, and then you've got Marquise Brown against the Seahawks. Um, Marquise Brown has literally just been better. In general. Where's Marquise? Yeah, he's wide receiver. What 18? 0.9 to Marquise. I mean, they're relatively not that far apart in fantasy points per game. It's like a 1 point difference. Give me Marquise Brown though. Give me Marquise Brown. Judy for a backup defense bye week. You drop Judy for a backup defense. I mean, I guess. I guess I'm okay with that. I guess if you don't need to start him and you're sick of him, I mean, I'm okay with it. Might start Brown for the matchup, but I'm kind of in the middle. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm saying. I'll go with Brown there. I'll go with Brown, and it's by a hair. It's not by a huge margin that I want to go Brown. Carr got me 18 points on a CJ Stroud fill-in by ETN got me 23. Awesome, man. Awesome. You killed it. You killed it. Carr, I played Carr actually in 2 leagues as well. I had no choice but to play Carr, so I'm happy with what he gave me. He's a lot better fantasy QB than he is real life QB, though. I'll tell you that. Joker in the building. What up, Joker? It's been a while, man. What's up? How you doing, brother? Full PPR. Pick one. Jacoby with Jimmy G out. Jerome Ford, Kareem Hunt questionable, or Alexander Madison. I think Hunt is going to play. We'll find out some more tomorrow morning. But Jacoby, Jerome Ford, or Madison. Uh, let's go. I probably would want to go with Ford or Jacoby. I'm eliminating Madison from this. I'll probably go form Ford or Jacoby. And if Hunt doesn't play, then I'm probably definitely going Ford. But otherwise, it's close between Jacoby and Ford. Give me Ford though. No, actually, give me Jacoby. Give me Jacoby. Give me Jacoby in the battle of the backups over there. Dino short for Dynasty. Okay, okay. I got you, Luke. I'll remember that for next time. I got you. Andrea, no problem. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in. Really appreciate that. Sam, love Gibbs. Can't wait for him tomorrow. Everybody loves Gibbs. We're all been waiting for it. So it's gonna be huge. The only problem is like, what if he doesn't deliver, guys? What if he doesn't deliver? What if he has another 17 for 50 and like 2 catches on 3 targets for like 20 yards? He doesn't score a tutty. What if it's bad? What if it doesn't go right? Like, what happens at that point? What do we think at that point? I'm not crazy worried about it because I think for the future we'll be okay. But I mean, just the perception of what Gibbs is going to be at that point if he doesn't, if he doesn't. So, Minnesota trade for free. Yeah, I feel bad for you. Like every stream I come on, there's always one question on if Taysom is worthy of a starting spot. The answer is no. Answer is no, unless you literally have no if you don't have a tight end to play like, if you don't have a top-ish tight end, like, I'm okay with trying to take the chance on Taysom Hill because 'cause you're not getting much at a tight end position anyway, but it's like you can't it's so weird the way that they use him or when they decide to use him. Let me pull up Taysom real quick. Pull up Taysom real quick. Because the crazy thing is he's like tight end 15 right now. But, let's see, full PPR, we've got 4 points, 9, 3, 3, 3, 15, and 18. So the last 2 games, they've been using him. And luckily, you can still play him in the tight end slot. So I'm okay with playing Taysom Hill if you don't have one of the top tight ends. I'm okay with playing Taysom Hill at this point. I mean, fuck it, right? You're either going to get 3 points or you're going to get double digit points. And that's the same thing as some of these other tight ends that are out there are going to give you. So, I mean, fuck it. Fuck it. Does Henry get traded? It's a possibility. I mean, they're saying we talked about this yesterday. Does Henry get traded? Where could he go? We had some good spots for him, but apparently they haven't had much interest in Henry as per sources. So I'm not sure what they're going to do because they're kind of in a tough spot where they might have to give him up for almost nothing because people don't want to pay for it, and they've got to rebuild. So that's going to be a tough part. Baltimore back to Minnesota. Back to Minnesota. Does Dalvin go back to Minnesota? I mean, damn. Baltimore, yeah, it's a good spot, man. Same as Henry yesterday. Baltimore, yeah, I agree. It's all kind of the same spots that we talked about, man. If Watson plays Amari a start. Yeah, if Watson plays, then I'd probably play Amari there. Probably play Amari Darius. Yeah. Should be only playing 60% of snaps. It's over, man. Yeah, I mean, listen, I've gave up. I gave up on Judy. Like I said, I've traded away all my shares. I ain't worried about it no more. But Crispy in the building. What up, Crispy? What's good, man? Trigger finger. Which Rams turd running back do you start this week and why? Evans, Henderson, Gaskin, and thanks. We've talked about this a lot, but if I had to choose one, it would be Zach Evans. It would be Zach Evans if I had to choose one. And that's because he was basically the highest on the roster. He was wound up being the third string, and then now with the injuries, he's kind of the number one guy. But the problem with Evans is that, he is a rookie. Pass protection isn't that good. Sean McVay has even said this as well, which is why he likes Darrell Henderson. So I do expect Henderson to be in, on Thursday, on third downs or anywhere where they kind of need pass protection. If I had to guess, maybe Zach Evans gets some of the first and second down work, and then you've got Henderson coming in there for the third down work. So I'm not sure. I'm not sure what's going to happen. I know they've got Gaskin as well. I don't know, but if I had to bet, I'd bet on Evans out of the other two. I mean, they've had Darrell Henderson before. They got rid of him. I mean, they had to pick him back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if Henderson winds up getting a lot of touches, but I'm gonna go with Evans. I'm gonna go with Evans, trigger finger. Hopefully that answers that for you. But what do you think? Who do you got? Who do you got in there, trigger finger? Let me know. You think Jamal Williams worth holding? Had him on IR. Now I'm locked because I didn't activate him. Ah, fuck. I mean, yes, not really. I mean, with Kamara healthy, I don't think you could really rely on anything with Jamal Williams. I mean, I do like Kendre Miller as well. Maybe towards the end of the season, Kendre gets more burn than Jamal, but he's just kind of a handcuff for now. He's not going to get a ton of work. I mean, Kamara is the guy, so start a car as well. Do is making me regret it until the fourth quarter. Yeah, I'm with you too. I was like, bro, this is such a piece of shit. And then he kind of just he came along. Luckily we were bailed out. We were bailed out. CJ, who dat? Someone in my half PPR league just offered me Joe Mixon for Kyron Williams. That just went on IR. Should I accept it? I'll take Joe Mixon over Kyron. Give me Joe Mixon. Yeah, give me Joe Mixon. Kyron, exactly like you said, Kyron just went on IR. So give me the guy that's not hurt. Kyron Williams has not been like crazy efficient either. He scored a bunch of touchdowns, is what kind of vaulted him into the top of where he's at. So yeah, give me Joe Mixon for sure, man. Birdman, what up? What to do, Birdman? Blessings to you, man. My boy Taysom went hard. He did, man. He did. We were just actually talking about that right before you hopped in, CJ. We were just talking about Taysom. And listen, if you don't have one of those top tight ends, like I don't, whatever, just play Taysom if you want. I mean, you play him at your own risk, but he's getting work, and it looks like the last 2 weeks they've tried to get him a lot more involved because Derek Carr is just a bum. So anything they can do to try and shake shit up. As long as Juwan out, I'd stream Taysom. Yeah, man. Yeah. Nick, what's up, Nick? Trade Cup and Saquon for Cheetah, Javante, and James Cook. Um, I don't know actually. I mean, I do want Cheetah, but I do want Saquon over Javante and Cook. I mean, unless you have no running backs and you've got to split Saquon in half here, then I'd do that. So depending on what your team looks like, I would say depends on this question here. So if you need to split Saquon in half, then I guess you are getting Cheetah. Cheetah's been awesome, but Cup is a monster too. So Michael, what's up, Michael? Options at RB2 this week are brutal with the bye week. Yeah, man, everybody's going through it. Everybody's going through it, man. So I feel you. I'm looking at Foreman, AJ Dillon, or Zach Moss. Bro, it's hard not to play Zach Moss, even with JT getting more work. I think they're playing Cleveland this week, so it's not a great matchup. Yeah, they're playing Cleveland this week, so it's not a great matchup, but AJ Dillon or Foreman. Might have to be Foreman in this instance. Might have to be Foreman against the Raiders. There's nobody else there. It's either Foreman or Moss. If you want to go matchup based, let's just go with Foreman. They cut Cook. Did who cut Cook? Who? James Cook? Dalvin Cook? No, they didn't cut him. But they said that he is available for trade. So it looks like they are trying to get him on the move. Colts losing Grover Stewart, good for Ford. Yeah, I like Ford this week. I'm good with playing Ford. I like Ford rest of the season. Cook has to have a line for his style of running. Dalvin. Yeah, I mean, it looks like he's lost a step also. I mean, listen, running backs get old. I mean, they lose that step, and then teams don't value you as much because they rather just pay less for a younger guy. If PJ starts, it's safe to start Amari. He hyper-targeted against the Niners. Colts are no 49ers. That is true. That is true. That is true. I was surprised by Amari last week. I have him in one league, and he wound up getting what 8 targets last week against San Fran. So yeah, you could make that argument for sure. The scheme they use don't fit his style. Yeah, I'm with you. Well, Brees is just too good. I mean, Brees is just so good. You can't keep Brees off the field. So they had Henderson, everyone, and they mama had Royce Freeman. Exactly, he's a jag. If Evans was ready, they would not have brought in 14 running backs this week. Gaskin comes from a system scheme. The Vikings, yeah. No, I'm with you. It's tough to say. I mean, my money's still going to be on Evans, but if you don't have to play any of these guys, like don't. I mean, but in a lot of cases, like a lot of people have to play. Rolling with Evans too. He's been there all year for the Rams. Henderson knows the system well and is a better blocker, so he can step right in. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's Evans for 1 week. I'm with you, man. Let's pray. Let's pray. Let's play for real. Gaskin's in good football shape. Not starting any Rams running back, but I want to stash Evans, Gaskin, and Henderson. Yeah, I'm with you there. Got no choice, man. Got no choice. Got to start one. I know it's rough out here. It's rough out here, especially for us. No RB guys. I have Murray on IR. Hope he comes back. T Law, my QB. Yeah, T Law hasn't been that great this season, so yeah. I've got Murray in like two of my dynasties. So waiting on him to come back. I mean, I'm not contending for the season anyway, but yeah, man. But yeah, does Dalvin wind up going somewhere else? But yeah, throw any other questions you guys got there in the chat. And what do you guys think about Aaron Jones? I mean, he said he's feeling great again. Apparently something like that came out that he's feeling great, he's feeling ready to go. So see what happens with Aaron Jones. Yeah, and again, older running back, and the injury just kind of kept him out longer than it probably should have. But going against the Broncos, he's still questionable. So we'll wait to see tomorrow, I guess. But if I had to guess, I'm going to guess he's going to play this week. So 20 team keeper, Mac Jones is almost free. Do you grab him, hoping he gets a fresh start somewhere else soon? Do you think he's a decent NFL QB? Perform under better circumstances. I never thought Mac Jones was really that good. I do think he'll get a chance somewhere else. Does he get a chance to actually start somewhere else soon? That I don't know. That I don't know. So I mean, I'm not. I wouldn't. How many keepers do you get to keep? Like, is he a guy that you're going to be worth keeping? I mean, if it's keeper, I guess it's not dynasty, right? It is a 20 team. Is it? I mean, obviously, it can't be really be two QB, right? So I mean, no, I probably wouldn't keep him. I don't think like that next year all of a sudden he goes to, the Falcons and is some kind of QB1. I mean, I'm not betting on that. So want to pick him up, then pick him up and just kind of stash him. But I don't have too much hope for Mac Jones going forward. If things don't work out in New England, he'll probably always be a backup somewhere, and he'll get an opportunity when guys go down. But so it is full keeper. So it's a whole dynasty. It's an actual dynasty. You got Yeah, I mean, if you got Trevor Lawrence as your starter, then you're not gonna keep it. You don't even really need a almost a backup. It is a 20 team, so maybe you do want the backup. I mean, I guess in that case, maybe you do just stash them and hold them. I mean, I'm sure that you've got room on your bench to stash them. I mean, who do you have to choose between? So he's a QB, so I'm all for just holding him in that case. Just hold him and see what happens. It's not really costing you anything as long as you don't need to make that decision on like dropping somebody else that really could be something. Then I'm okay. So let me know if there's like a choice between like him or somebody else that you have to keep. Isaac said he's got Stroud and Lamar. Would you trade Lamar to get a wide receiver or a running back? Um, I'm okay with trading either of them. Whoever can net you more, really. So yeah, I would go get a wide receiver or running back if you could. I'm okay with that, and then just pick up some other quarterback. Just make a decision which one you want to keep, or who's going to net you more. So go see, what teams need a quarterback, and then attack from there. See what wide receivers they have, see what running backs they have. But you got to find a team that needs a quarterback because nobody's going to pay up for a backup if they've already got, Patrick Mahomes. So yeah, find the Fields owner, maybe go that route. I think Aaron Jones gets traded. I mean, that's possible. Older running back, man. Yeah, talk is cheap. I know he needs to show us. He absolutely does. Listen, he showed us in week one. He had some big plays. I didn't even think he played like crazy great week one. He just had some big explosive plays against a garbage Chicago defense. So yeah, I mean, I was not an Aaron Jones fan. I don't have any shares of Aaron Jones. But he can run, he can catch. I mean, he can kind of do it all, but he's getting a little up there in age, and obviously the injuries are bothering him. But could they trade him for something? I don't know. Packers clearly rebuilding. Yeah, I mean, apparently they tried to get JT with trading AJ Dillon and a pick, but that obviously didn't happen. So Mac Jones and keep should not be in the same sentence. Yeah, I mean, with the 20 team though, like I'm okay with it just because he's a quarterback. Like I'm okay with it, depending what your choices are, right? You have to choose between him or somebody else on the bench. I'm guessing you have enough room on the bench to just kind of hold him there. So Minshew's the other QB. Okay, I mean Minshew's okay for now. Minshew's okay for now for sure. Jacoby Pittman or Flowers in the flex. Man, it's tough to not go Pittman, who was just like hyper targeted. Do like Flowers, but Pittman had 14 targets last game on 9 catches. So give me Pittman here, Cameron. Give me Pittman. Brad, what's up, Brad? I have T-Law and Purdy. If Watson is on waivers, do I pick him up? We've got T-Law and Purdy. If Watson is on waivers, do I pick him up? Is this a super flex league? Is this 2 QB or is this just 1 QB that we're talking about here? You can make the argument to just pick up Watson and play him over T-Law. Just play Purdy for now, maybe, and you have Watson as backup. Um, but that's up to you. I don't think it's going to make a crazy difference between any of those guys, but I'm okay with picking them up if you want to. But I would only carry 2. I don't know if there's there's not really a reason to carry 3 QBs in a 1 QB league. So let me know. Let me know, Brad. Ray said Stroud or Cousins rest of season. Wow. It's hard to not go Kirk because of how good he's been. But now without JJ, like, does that affect? I mean, right now Kirk is QB 5. You've got CJ Stroud at QB what 14. Give me Kirk because I know that he's gonna throw the ball like 650 times. I know Stroud's been throwing the ball a lot as well, but give me Kirk still. Give me Kirk. Even with JJ out, I think I'm still going to lean Kirk because that's the Vikings offense. We're just a passing offense in general. Give me Kirk, but it's close. Belichick coaching the Pats next year. I don't see how. No, maybe he's not. Maybe he gets to finally they get his ass up out of there. I mean, he doesn't want to spend. I mean, he fucked up, made the wrong decision with Juju and Jacoby. Let Jacoby walk and then sign Juju to the same contract they could have gave Jacoby. Which was dumb. And that's kind of biting them in the ass. They've got no wide receivers. They can't pick a wide receiver out of the draft for their fucking life. They just always pick the garbage wide receivers. And they're just not getting better at all. I mean, QB situation sucks. Is it Mac Jones? Is it just the offense in general? Is it the play calling? I think it's a little bit of all of it, really. I mean, I don't think they've got anything really in place. So, yeah, I mean, Belichick could definitely be gone. We're talking about next year. So, Kyle, what's up, Kyle? Flex one, Zach Evans, Osborne, Atwell, Moss, or Downs. I might have to go Downs here. I have to go Downs. He had the tutty last week. He targets 5 for 21. I mean, they are going against Cleveland, so that's going to be a little bit of a tough matchup, but he isn't like the number one guy. Even when I talk about Pittman before, I'm still playing Pittman with those targets. I don't know. But we're talking about Moss, Atwell, Osborne, Zach Evans. I mean, damn. It's either Evans probably or Downs. I mean, Atwell is hard to trust now with Cup and Puka. Osborne is like the 4th, 5th option. You gotta pray that he catches a bomb. Evans, we don't really know what's happening there. Downs with the going against a good defense. Give me Downs, though. Give me Downs, man. Isaac said Mims on 12 team. You think I should grab him when I can? Yeah, I'd grab Mims if you could. I mean, he was on my waiver wire pickups. He's been on a few of my waiver wire pickup videos for the last couple weeks, especially with now that they might trade Judy or Sutton. They might get some guys out of there, so Mims might get an opportunity to play a lot more. We haven't seen just a lot of playing time from Mims. He just hasn't been on the field much, but when he is, he does produce. So yeah, I definitely pick up Mims if you could hold him in. Belichick is a good coach, not a good GM. Yeah, I mean, I think it just might be time for just a different regime to come in. They just need to just change shit up. Sometimes when you've been somewhere for a long time, it's just time to kind of move on, just do something else, man. Should have been fired years ago. Yeah, could make that argument for sure. Kyle said thanks, but appreciate you, Kyle. No problem, guys. No problem. Drop any last questions you guys got in the chat there. I'll probably be getting out of here in the next couple minutes. I'll give you all a few minutes to throw any last second things you got in the chat. But I think we've kind of went over everything here except for Fields. But Fields is like, what is the future for Fields? Right? What does the future hold for Fields? He's injured. He's going to miss a few games. You're then going to miss a few games. Oh man, I don't have the field set up. So if they do wind up getting the number one and number two pick next year, right? If they wound up getting these picks, they're obviously going to draft a quarterback. They ship off Justin Fields to who knows where, somewhere, right? We don't know where. We've heard that the Falcons would be interested in Justin Fields. So are the Falcons a team that could go after Justin Fields? I do think he gets a chance somewhere next year. We talked about this briefly yesterday. He's got basically 1 year to prove himself, and then he's got an option year in his contract. Year to prove himself in an offense. He's not going to get a ton of time. How about the New York Giants? Like, do they give up on Daniel Jones? Do they give up on Daniel Jones? Falcons? I mean, a lot of teams could use a QB. Maybe the Titans want to start over and say, "Fuck it, let's go with Justin Fields." Let me know. What do you guys think about Justin Fields here? McLaurin or Kittle in the flex this week. McLaurin or Kittle in the flex. I mean, it's so hard to play Terry because he just hasn't really played well all season. I know last game he had what the 11 targets, I think it was. Yeah, 6 for 81 on 11 targets. It looks like he was targeted last game going against the Giants this week. But yeah, give me Terry. Maybe they're trying to it looks like they're trying to hopefully get him the ball a little bit more the past few games. Give me Terry. You could argue Kittle though too with Debo down, right? Do we rely on Kittle a little bit more this week? Give me Terry though. Maybe you do go Kittle because they're playing the damn Vikings. But I'm not. I'm gonna go Terry. I'm gonna go Terry, man. I'm gonna go Terry. Terry. Justin Hill or AJ Dillon in the flex this week. Hill or Dillon. Let's go with I'll go with Hill unless Dillon no, they are going against who they playing. God damn it. Yeah, Pack's playing Denver. Give me AJ Dillon. Maybe he breaks one. I mean Hill, you're praying that he gets a tutty. So failing contender needs his first back. Chase all he really has. Is that a fair deal? Nope. Nope. Unless it would have to be like the 101. No, if I could I don't know if I could do Chase. I can't do Chase. I gotta hold on to him. He's all I got left. I'll fucking tank it next year if I have to. Appreciate you, Frank. Appreciate you, man. Trigger figure. I like Fields in Atlanta. I like that too. Or Tennessee. Yep. Don't make him pass more than 25 times a game and reel him in a bit. Well, I mean, if he goes to Atlanta, he's got to pass because we've got two fucking awesome guys over there that just don't get enough targets, which is Kyle Pitts and Drake London. But I do think the offensive scheme kind of fits Fields. But, is that same scheme going to stay in place? I think Tennessee would be a decent spot as well. Do the Broncos say fuck Russell Wilson? Who else needs a QB? Um, do the Bucks take a chance? Maybe the Bucks could use a QB. The Giants, the Commanders, right? I mean, even the Patriots, Raiders. A lot of teams need QBs, so there is room for QBs to go out there. Why Allen doesn't check it down to Cook? Because Allen would just rather run it himself instead of throwing it to Cook. He'd rather just run it. So that's why I do think Cook should be a little bit more involved in the pass game, but it is what it is. Josh Allen is a rushing quarterback, and he tends to just take off instead of just checking it down. So he is always looking for the big play, Isaac. He is. I mean, because the thing is, Josh Allen understands that there's not much talent on that team almost, or there's not much other guys that can make big plays other than him and Diggs, really. I mean, Cook can make big plays for sure. I mean, he's a quick guy, but it's really only Diggs on that team. So he's got to do a lot more, than he might even want to. And he's just a tough competitor, tough mentality. He's willing to just, take hits and, run the football himself if he has to. So, yeah, said you saw right through me. Yeah, man, it's oh man. Yeah, I'll figure that out in the next couple weeks, I guess. I guess I got some other teams I'm making moves with. But Freddie, what's up, Freddie? First time here. Appreciate you, Freddie. Appreciate you for tuning in, man. We've got starting Lamar or Tua this week. Bro, I don't think we can go against Tua. You've got the Eagles. That whole defensive backfield is just is all hurt right now. So there's no way I'm going against Tua. I think last week I chose somebody over Tua. I'm not doing it anymore. We're going with Tua here. We're going with Tua. I do like Lamar, but we're going Tua. Sharps or Dowdle, the better handcuff. Both are available on waivers. Well, I mean, I think they're both great handcuffs because they're both great offenses behind two guys that are the workhorses in those offenses. So if Pollard goes down, Dowdle steps right in. If K9 goes down, Charbonnet steps right in. Who would be the better handcuff? I'd probably say Charbonnet would be the better handcuff because I think he can do a little bit of everything. I think he can catch the football a little bit. I think he can run the football, so he kind of just slides right into Charbonnet. With Dowdle, does he get the workhorse load as the handcuff, or is he kind of splitting carries with somebody, or they bring somebody else in to take some work as well? Where I think Charbonnet could be a kind of guy that just pops right in. So give me Sharp just by a little bit there. Simo, everything. What's up, Simo? And Freddie, appreciate you for tuning in, man. Smash that like for me, smash that subscribe there as well. Come through anytime. We're live Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturday nights, 10 Eastern, and Sunday mornings, about an hour and a half before kickoff. We are live. Simo, everything. Who to start at QB at a Watson and Baker Mayfield? First, we got to make sure that Deshaun Watson plays. Um, if I had to choose, then I'm going to be playing Deshaun Watson. But there's a chance that Deshaun Watson doesn't play, so you might have to be stuck playing Baker Mayfield. But otherwise, I'm playing Deshaun. Appreciate you, Simo. Appreciate you, man. Fields in Minnesota, Vegas, Washington. Yeah, I can see all those places. I don't know about Minnesota because it's in the division. But we've seen that kind of happen before, obviously. But it was kind of after, obviously, Brett Favre went to the Jets first, and then he wound up playing for the Vikings. But Eagles Dolphins game going to be bonkers. Yeah, it's going to be an awesome game. It's going to be an awesome game. Hopefully, that's a nice high scoring game, and we get some Waddle action. We get Cheetah going. We get Devonta Smith going. We get AJ Brown going. So, gotta like and subscribe. Appreciate you, Freddie. Appreciate you, man. Thank you, thank you. So hard to watch Sam Howell play QB. Please don't make me do it anymore. I know. And people are still on the Howell, like, oh, how no, Howell has not been good. He's not good. They're just getting their ass kicked, so he's got to throw the football. But yeah, I'm not a Sam Howell guy. I don't believe in Sam Howell. I don't think he's the future. I think there's a possibility maybe he finishes out the year, but I don't think he's the future. I don't think he's the future of Washington. So but yeah, appreciate everybody out there. We're on the road to 500. We've got what 492. So we need 8 more. We need 8 more to hit 500, and then we're going for the 1K. And then we're going for the 1K. So appreciate everybody for always tuning in. You guys make it go around. So what's your thoughts on Stevenson? Trash. Uh, think things are turning around with a good rest of schedule. I mean, it's possible, but it's hard to bet on it. It's hard to bet on it. I mean, if you can get Stevenson for cheap, like I'm all for it, but I'm not going to pay. I'm not going to pay the illusion of the cost that he was to go and get him. I do think I don't think it could be any worse necessarily. So I think it's possible that he can do a little bit better. But that offense is just so bad. That team is just so bad. They've got Zeke now, giving the ball to Zeke, and it's just I don't know, man. My thoughts on Stevenson is realistically to just stay away or get out if you can. That's really my thoughts on Stevenson. Can I get Jerome Ford instead? All right, man. I'm out. Appreciate you, DS. Yeah, his luck against tomorrow. Yeah, we'll see. Hopefully, Chase gives you a 50 piece, and and I take it because I need a 50 piece from Chase tomorrow. I need Tua to fucking go off. I need Tua to go for like 40 plus. So I need my big guns to go off tomorrow against you, DS. But I appreciate you, man. Talk to you tomorrow, brother. Simo, just subscribe. Appreciate your content, bro. Appreciate you, Simo. Appreciate you, man. Join the crew, part of the Dynasty Life crew. Come through. Like I said, Tuesdays, Fridays, Saturday nights. We're here 10 Eastern. Sundays we are about 11:30, about an hour and a half before game time. So Sundays typically we go over the games. We go over some prop bets. We go over the money lines, any kind of betting that we got going on. Me and my partner Hammer. So we usually do that on Sundays. Friday, Saturdays we go over a couple different topics, and we do a lot of the start sits. And then Tuesday nights we have a Dynasty show that we do on Tuesday nights where we specifically focus on Dynasty. We still answer, of course, any questions, so you're still welcome to come by, even if you don't play Dynasty. Just come hang out, enjoy the vibe. We're chilling. We usually for about an hour we are just answering questions, and then the second hour we get into the Dynasty content because we're typically stream for about 2 hours. 2 hours when we're on. Sam says Chase on buy. Oh yeah, that's right. Chase is on buy. So 50 piece is not coming. I'm fucked. I'm fucked, DS. I'm fucked. That's right. Let me see my lineup real quick in that particular league. So yeah, I'm not getting the 50 piece from Chase. We need a 50 piece from Joshua Palmer. We need a 50 piece from Tua. Kyle Pitts. I mean, Russell Wilson has to go off. If Tua and Russell could go off, I might have a chance. Godwin's got to have a good game. Palmer, that's right. I forgot. That's why I'm hurting this week because I've got Chase and I've got Thielen on bye in this one league that I was playing Diaz in. So that's been hurting, man. Picked up 13 more subscribers in one live show. Yeah, Frank. I mean, appreciate you guys. Appreciate everybody out there. And that's because, people like you, Frank, my regulars that come by and hang out all the time. People see there's, 10 plus, 15 plus people in the chat hanging out. And it brings more people to come in, enjoy the show, enjoy the content, come hang out. So, appreciate you, Frank, and everybody else out there. That's always coming through. T. Higgins, rest of season, does he wake up? I do think he'll be okay. I do think he wakes up. I mean, the whole offense has been trash for a while with the injury to Burrow, and then T. Higgins has been banged up as well. But we saw what he can do when he is healthy. So I do still like T. Higgins. I think for the rest of the season he'll be okay. He's a good buy low. I just traded for T. Higgins in a dynasty league. I traded DJ Moore for T. Higgins. I just like T. Higgins a little bit younger. Hopefully he's a number one somewhere on a different team next year, or maybe they tag him, they keep him one more year on the Bengals, and he gets another year with Joe Burrow, which kind of caps the ceiling a little bit, but he's still going to put up fantasy points. So I do like T. Higgins for the rest of the season. I think he'll be okay, Mary. Appreciate you coming through, Mary. I've been really busy. Is there a London game? That's actually a good question. I don't think there is this week. No, there's no London game this week. No London game this week. So we're back to regular football, not like this crazy early in the morning 9 a.m. games on the East Coast, at least here. So no, we don't got to worry about that for this week. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here, guys. Throw any last questions you got in the chat there. I'll give y'all another minute or so to throw anything else you've got in the chat. But other than that, I'll see y'all tomorrow morning, 11:30 Eastern. We'll be on tomorrow morning up until game time. So come through, hang out, play some bets with us. We'll look through some bets and get the props and everything going. Foreman or Stevenson tomorrow. I think who did I say? I think I said Foreman. Foreman against the Raiders, yeah, and then you've got Stevenson against the Bills. Yeah, give me Foreman, and I don't love it, but maybe they lean on the run against the Raiders with the backup QB in. Give me some of Foreman. It's crazy to say Foreman over Stevenson, but the Bills are a pretty decent defense. I don't necessarily know if we can trust Stevenson. So give me Foreman, man. Tingley, what up, Tingley? We buying Devontae Adams. I mean, he's not going anywhere. I don't really want to buy him because of what he's going to cost. I don't think anybody's getting rid of him for cheap. So I would say no. I'm not buying just because of the cost, man. Cost is going to be too high. Frank said Higgins be okay. I would trade for him, but my son got him. Can't jack him. Yeah, man. I'm in there. Gotta grab Higgins in Dynasty if you can. Just take advantage of values. Like when guys just don't do good for a little while, they're just attainable. They're easily attainable, and they cost a lot cheaper than they normally would. So, and all it takes is one big game from Higgins for everybody to be back on him. So, trying to get Ayuk thoughts. I mean, Debo just went down, so it might be tough at the moment to get Ayuk. Might be tough in the moment to get him. But if you can get him, then I'm all for it. But you're gonna have to give up something good. You're gonna have to give up something that team needs. What does the team look like that has Ayuk, and what do they need? Because you're gonna have to give them something that they need in order to kind of pry him away there. So I do like it. Ayuk, I've been a huge fan of Ayuk. Last season, I made the bet that Ayuk would finish a better season than Debo before the season started. Debo wound up getting hurt, so I can't take really full credit on it. But Ayuk is the better wide receiver. I think we can all see that now after last year and this year now. Ayuk is just a better overall wide receiver than Debo. And I think he's the number one target as he was last year. So Sam said, "Would you give up Laporta, Gibbs, and Waddle for Eckler? Seems like too much. 12-man PPR. Laporta, Gibbs, and what? No, I'm not giving up Laporta, Gibbs, and Waddle. I'm not doing that. I'd rather just keep who I have. instead of going. I do like Eckler. Can you get Eckler with something else? I mean, can you give up just Gibbs and Waddle and get Eckler? Like I do that and take Eckler. I don't want to give up Laporta though too. AS said have PPR, have Logan Thomas. Do I ride him and keep Fryermuth, or I drop for commit? I love me some Cole Kmet. I don't know how long Justin Fields is going to be out, so that's a tough part about it. But I'd play Kmet every single week, maybe until Fryermuth comes back. It's just tough to say with Justin Fields out, like what's going to happen to Cole Kmet. Logan Thomas did jack last week. The week before that, I mean, Sam Howell threw the ball 50 times, which is not going to happen again. Um, So I'm okay with just grabbing Komet and playing him. Just be wary that the next few weeks might be rough with this backup QB, and that's the only issue. Only issue. Rolling loud. What's up, my man? Brian Robinson, Lockett, or Deontay in the flex. All right, Deontay, Lockett, Brian Robinson. It might have to be Lockett here against the Cardinals. Brian Robinson against the Giants. Okay. Okay, then we got Deontay against the Rams. You could make the argument for Brian Robinson here. He does have a good matchup against the Giants. Lockett, DK is a little bit banged up. They are going against the Cardinals, so we can make that argument too. Deontay's first game back, but he is the target hog for the Steelers. So this is a very tough one, and I think I'm going to have to say probably Brian Robinson. I don't think the Giants are going to like blow them out or be able to almost keep up points. I think Brian Robinson is going to be, he's just going to get a ton of work. I think. I don't think the game's going to be out of reach where Brian Robinson doesn't get as much work. Give me B Rob here, but it's close with Lockett. It's really close with Lockett, man. Question is, oh my bad. Do I drop Fryermuth or keep him? I'm okay with dropping Fryermuth to just grab Komet. I mean, you got to wait at least 4 weeks anyway for Fryermuth. We don't got time for all that. I'm okay with dropping. I'm okay with dropping him for sure. Tingley said, "Sounds good. Just wanted to pop in before you headed out. Appreciate you, Tingley. Appreciate you as always. Appreciate everybody always just trying to tune in, even if you're hanging out or not, just kind of tuning in, saying what's up." Jeff Wilson not starting, but usage this week. Whew. Mary, I have no idea, Mary. I mean, Ahmed played pretty good last game. I don't know if Jeff Wilson just comes right into that RB2 slot where he kind of left off, and it's just Mostert and Wilson. So I think we're going to see kind of this week what it's going to wind up turning out into. I'm not playing Jeff Wilson unless I'm absolutely desperate. So I think he'll probably be eased back in. I don't think he just automatically slides into the RB2 slot and has 15 carries. So I don't think his usage is going to be that great. I would say it's going to be mostly Mostert and Ahmed if I had to guess. But yeah. All right, guys, about to get out of here. Throw the last questions in the chat. I know I said that about 5-10 minutes ago, but we keep getting questions. So I mean, I'm here as long as the questions keep coming. I'm here for y'all. So let me know before I get up out of here. Don't forget, we'll be back in the morning. So come through in the morning. Yeah, we picked up a bunch of subs tonight. Awesome. We're at 494 now on that road to 500. So appreciate everybody, man. Drop that like, drop that sub. Come and hang out. We'll be on the road to 1K soon. Appreciate y'all. We'll have some giveaways coming up too. I've got some PSA graded cards, 9s and 10s, NFL cards that I'll be looking to give away. So appreciate everybody right on. I'll be tuning in regularly. Appreciate you, Freddie. You the man. You the man. Join the crew. Mary, as always, appreciate you. Isaac, and everybody else that came through tonight. Appreciate y'all. But all right, finally, I'm about to get up out of here. We'll see y'all in the morning. Come through if you're free. Otherwise, I'll see y'all probably Monday-ish. I'll probably drop. I think I got a video that I'll probably drop tomorrow as well. A couple Dynasty questions I answered just for live. But yeah, appreciate you, Sam. Big body birds. I'll get you before I get out of here real quick. Trade Lamb for Garrett Wilson in London. Trade Lamb for Garrett Wilson. And is this Dynasty or is this redraft? If it's redraft, I'm just gonna hold on to Lamb. I mean, I think he'll be fine. I'm not crazy worried about no HGA cards. I'm not sure what the HGA is, but I got the PSAA graded. See if y'all can see this in here. This one's a Patty Mahomes, but mint condition 9, graded 9. I got a Patty. I've got a Michael Pittman, which is a graded 10. I've got a Ezekiel Elliott, which is a graded 9, Ohio State, and then I've got a Tua, graded 9 also. So we'll be looking to give some of these out. I think for the holidays. I think we did one for Christmas last year, so we'll do that. We'll do that again. Redraft, yeah. I mean, if you need to split Lamb into 2 because you don't have enough wide receivers, I'd be okay with it. But I don't love or trust the London volume or the Garrett Wilson volume for that matter. I know he's had some good targets the last couple games, but I don't necessarily trust Zach Wilson. So I would just stick with Lamb unless you absolutely need to split him in half for Garrett and London. I'd probably just keep him, man. Probably just keep him. HGA lasted about 6 months. Not good. Yeah, no, I didn't mess with the HGA. Only the PSA, man. Only the PSA. Only the official. Only the official. We got to do it right. But all right, let me get out of here, guys. Appreciate y'all. We out.